So guys, it's time I made this video. I managed to watch LiAngelo Ball's last game last night, and I've watched 3 of the 4 games that he has played in Summer League. So I'm going to give a little bit of a conclusion because it's a little bit more of a sample size than his very first game. My conclusion to everything, and this is what's going to get this video either loved or hated, is that the Ball fans are some of the most delusional people I have ever seen. Like, I'm looking to see everything about LiAngelo, see how people are reacting, but all I can see are Ball fans saying that LiAngelo was about to be was projected to be a lottery pick before the incident with UCLA. LiAngelo Ball was a 3-star recruit who was not in the top 200. The fact that LiAngelo Ball there's even talk of him going to the NBA now is mad. It is mad. Like, there is probably a 0.01% chance that somebody that was ranked where he was ranked, actually, yeah, 0.01, probably a 1 in 1,000. There was probably a 1 in 1,000 chance of him coming into high school, or coming out of high school making the NBA, not being like anywhere near a top 200 recruit, and probably going to be a bench player for UCLA. He was projected, like, the rumors were out of high school that although he scored big in high school, that he was a mid-major level player who was only going to UCLA because of his brothers. And I'm just going to say it right now, LiAngelo has proved that he is a professional level basketball player. He has proven, no matter what, that he is a pro level player. And when I mean pro level, I mean decent level. Like, when he went to Lithuania, yes, he played in the LKL. He played for the worst team in the LKL. Like, let's not get it twisted. He played for the worst team in a league where his teammates were getting paid like $500 a month. Let's put it all into perspective. But he's had a resurgence that I'm kind of shocked about. Because normally when you see someone who's probably not quite at the NBA level when they're like 19, 20, you think that the only real way that they're going to work their way up to get there is by going into some of the lower leagues and working their way up. But he appears to have improved without playing competitive basketball, which is something that not a lot of people can say. And it is incredibly impressive. But in this video, we are going to be talking about LiAngelo Ball, how he's gotten on in Summer League in each of his games, what his strengths and weaknesses will be at the next level, not what he has shown so far, as well as that, what chances I think he has of making it far in basketball. So, anyway, obviously we can't show too much, we gotta just show pictures. I cannot show clips just because I do not want to get copyright. So LiAngelo Ball had a spectacular first game. He had a spectacular first game. Again, 5 of 8 from 3, mostly catch and shoot wide open threes. He hit one where he came off a high screen. Second game, didn't shoot too well, because again, well, he didn't really get too many opportunities. And no, Ball fans, if you're here, they're not trying to sabotage LiAngelo Ball. Bouknight's just going to be one of their big scorers. Like, even if Bouknight and LiAngelo Ball make the NBA, it's a lot more likely Bouknight's going to take a lot of shots than LiAngelo Ball. Basketball's about knowing your role, and LiAngelo Ball's role will never be a primary option on the floor. Trust me, if LiAngelo does make the NBA, he will never be more than a third option on the floor at any given time. The guy cannot create a shot. He cannot create a shot. But he can shoot. He can hit wide open catch and shoot threes. His third game against the Spurs was horrific. For lack of a better word, he was horrendous. Like, I know he hit the circus 3. He hit the circus shot, which everyone saw the highlights of, but that was a prayer. The ability to hit a prayer shot. Like, you obviously have to have a certain level of skill to be able to hit that shot, but there's still a 5% chance that shot goes in for any player. That was luck. Like, obviously, his skill level probably gave him a 5% chance of hitting that shot. And a less skilled player would have a 1% chance of hitting it, but it's still a very, very lucky shot. The rest of that game, he hit the side of the backboard a couple of times and just really struggled to get open at all. He just really struggled off the ball. And then last night, I mean, he hit a couple of wide open shots. He had one really good passage of play where he gets a tough layup, goes down, plays a good defensive possession, runs down on the break, pulls up, hits a three. And that highlight has been shown everywhere. So in the games LiAngelo has played, the first game, he looked really good out there. And he showed flashes of what maybe something that could translate. He played a decent second game and 2 not particularly great games. He was okay yesterday, but that was only it. He was okay in Summer League. But we can't forget, like, he's averaging like around 10 a game in Summer League. Bull's averaging like 18 a game. Josh Selby averaged 25 a game. Anthony Randolph averaged 27 a game in Summer League. So the fact that he's holding his own in Summer League does not automatically mean he's an NBA player. But he's shown some things that I think there may be a glimpse of possibility. One thing he's not going to be is a 3-point specialist. And by that I mean, I've seen people comparing him to Klay Thompson. I've seen people comparing him to Duncan, saying he could be better Duncan Robinson, Kyle Korver, JJ Redick. Those type of 3-point specialists, watch how they move off the ball. LiAngelo's movement off the ball is not good. It's not good. His feel for the game is okay. Like, he spots up in decent positions. The way he can drift into space at an alright rate, like, he's okay in terms of that. But he's not going to come off. He's not going to be someone who sets a pin down screen and comes off another 2 pin down screens into a moving shot, bang. He's not going to be a Korver. He's not going to be someone who's going to take anyone really off the dribble, pull up and hit some shots. He's really not. LiAngelo Ball's best position, and this is literally what I said, probably, obviously there was the initial hype of him in high school thinking he'd be something great. LiAngelo Ball's best position is a small ball 4. He is a power forward at the NBA level. Because he's shown a few times, he's strong. Like, he's strong even at that level. And the fact that he's about 6'5"-ish with a decent wingspan, he's got a low enough base as far as NBA players are. He seems to have a low center of gravity. He's hard to move. And as well as that, he's not soft either. He will go strong to the basket. And a lot of that's from high school. If you watched his play, he either shot wide open threes or he played bully ball on offense. I don't really see him being able to play too much bully ball in the NBA because, well, the guys are just bigger. But on defense, I can see him being able to physically match up to a lot of the kind of the big men in the league trying to post him up. But I don't think he'll be a great defender at the NBA level, but I do actually think he's shown that he may be able to actually survive out there on defense. As well as that, just with his size, with his physicality, I think he might have a spot, but I don't think it's going to be like what people are expecting. So a lot of people, again, they're saying that the Hornets don't know what they have in LiAngelo, that they're not looking for him in every possession, they're sabotaging a chance of making the NBA. When in reality, if LiAngelo Ball was out here chucking 25 shots a game, he was not making the roster, by the way. Everything in basketball, unless is about roles. It's about roles. Even people that are star players, their role is to take a lot of the shots. That would never be LiAngelo Ball's role at that level. LiAngelo Ball will be a guy that he'd need to be around a 40% three-point shooter, be a solid defender, not turn the ball over, set big off-ball screens if needed, rebound the ball well enough, and just be a kind of glue guy. Be a glue guy to play 10 minutes a game. And I think he's shown more glimpses of that than I expected. Because if you watched him play in high school, he was a shot chucker. If you watched him in Lithuania, he was a shot chucker. If you watched him in the JBA, he was a shot chucker. And his game has kind of changed. His game's completely changed from that. And it's crazy because the reason why he could make the NBA is the exact opposite of the reason why the ball stands think he should make it. He's not going to be a 20-point-a-game scorer. He's not going to be one of the best scorers at the Ball Brothers because he's not. He's not as good a scorer as LaMelo or Lonzo. He can hit, spot up, catch and shoot threes, and he can also play bully ball. He doesn't have much of an offensive game, but he can space the floor and play a little bit of defense. And I think he's actually shown that he's decent. He will be decent being the 4th/5th best player on the floor at all times. I think that he could probably, like, if he's good enough that you can't leave him open. He's good enough that he can't be left open. He's not good enough to run an offense through, but he's good enough that he can be a solid contributor and space the floor. So do I think he has a spot on an NBA roster? I don't know. I'm just going to say it out right now. I don't know. Do I think he has a spot in a summer league or on a preseason roster? 1,000%. 1,000%. I don't know how good. Again, I don't think he'll be able to really create much of a shot at any level, really, above. Like, obviously, if he went to play pro somewhere like London, where he was considering it, he would obviously be able to create a shot there, like, barely better than the standard of basketball that I played at. But, like, at the NBA level, I think maybe he has a spot. It'll be interesting to see, though, how he gets on defensively in preseason. Like, yeah, preseason is not an NBA regular season. It'll be interesting to see how he gets on. But I would be shocked if he does not play for the Hornets by the end of the year. He will play in the G League. No question about that. I reckon that he is going to be a G League player. I think he's going to be a really solid G League player. So, yeah, LiAngelo Ball surprised me. I'm not delusional about LiAngelo like a lot of the ball stands are. But, I mean, you can't have not been impressed. Because there were only two types of people about LiAngelo. There were the ball stands that have been saying he's an NBA player since 2018. And anyone who's saying, I've seen videos of people on YouTube that have been saying he should have been drafted in 2018. No. If you watched him play in Lithuania and you watched him in the JBA, or not even JBA, if you just watched him in Lithuania, you know that guy should not have been a top 300 recruit. But he's improved. And more so than anything, he looks like he can do something other than shot chuck and be a solid player. So I actually do think he's going to be in the NBA. I think he'll get a shot. Do I think he's going to play in the NBA long term? I don't. But I think he'll get a shot. And you know what? He's clearly worked on his game the last 3 years. So, fair play. Fair play to him. And one thing I want to end this video on. Stop actually insulting this guy. Saying if Jared Dudley deserves a spot on a roster, LiAngelo Ball needs a spot on a roster. You don't understand how hard it is to be a good 15th man on a team. It is one of the most underrated roles, and anyone who does not understand why this guy is in the NBA has never played on any sort of a team in any sport that has been successful before. The guys at the end of the bench who just don't play, that's a role that only a few people can fill. There's a reason why Haslam keeps getting contracts. And can we please stop comparing LiAngelo to Thanasis? Like, Costa was in the NBA because they thought maybe he could turn into Giannis with his length. There's a reason why Alex Antetokounmpo is not in the NBA. There's a reason why Costa is now back in Greece. Thanasis went back to Greece, won 2 Greek leagues, was an all-star in the Greek league, played EuroLeague, and then is again another one of those guys who can be the 12th man on a team and just come on, who's really good at playing like 5-6 minutes a game. He knows his role. He knows his role. It's very, very important. And honestly, the fact that LiAngelo Ball, if LiAngelo Ball he could end up being a long-time NBA player if he ends up finding a role and he plays it well. I'm not sure, again, how his defense is going to hold up. If his defense can hold up, trust me, he shoots the ball well enough that he'll be a long-term NBA player. I just don't know how it will be at that level. But yeah, so that is the video. Do not compare these 3 guys right here. These are 2 guys who may not have the talent level of LiAngelo, but I mean, it is kind of close. But these guys, he knows his role and plays it as well as anyone in the world possibly could. He knows his role and plays it as well as anyone in the world possibly could. Now it's a case of, will LiAngelo Ball find his role in the NBA? If he does, he's going to have a decent career. If he doesn't, he's still going to have a great professional basketball career because he's proven he's a pro. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.